Namaste everyone, hope everyone is doing good. Nowadays I am talking to many of my friends who are there in the corporate field. They are facing a lot of stress and tension working from home till late night. In fact, when they were going to the offices, they had to do their 8 hours duty and come back home. But here, working at home has become more stressful. And there are many senior citizens out there who love to go in the open environment and refresh themselves, but they are also facing the same stress and anxiety sitting at home. So, I thought of making a video where I'll be showing you all 5 yoga poses which will help you to reduce your stress, anxiety, tension, and depression. So, let's start. The first asana which we are going to do is called Balasana, which is also called the child pose. So we will start with Balasana. First you have to come at one end of the mat and you have to sit on the ankle and your feet should be facing towards your back straight, and you also have to keep your knees little bit apart, and after keeping apart you will have to lean forward while leaning. Your hands should be stretched at the front and your forehead should be touching the mat. Please remember, you have to keep your knees a little bit apart. If you are keeping it closer, you won't be able to stretch yourself much. So if you are keeping it apart, it will be very good to stretch your spine and stretch your hands. So slowly we are going to lean forward, keeping our hands straight like this. Slowly you have to stretch and keep your forehead on the mat. You will have to stay up till 5 breaths. After coming to this final posture, you will see that blood circulation in your body has become so active. You will see the blood circulation in your brain has become active. You will feel so relaxed, you will feel the sense of calmness when you come in this posture. When you are doing this asana will help you to reduce your stress, your anxiety, and it's also very good for your depression. You will also feel your spine getting stretched. This pose is excellent if you have pain at your lower back. You will feel your hip stretching, your ankle stretching, your arms stretching straight. After 5 breaths, you have to slowly come up. Women in pregnancy, those who have diarrhea, those who have knee injury, they should avoid doing this asana. The next asana which we are going to do is called Viprit Karmi. Viprit Karmi is the best asana, one of the favorite asana and the easier asana. Anybody can do this asana at home. And Viprit Karmi, you have to take help of the wall. We have to just lie down on our back and keep your legs straight facing towards the ceiling. This is one of my favorite asanas. I seriously love doing these asanas. Nothing we have to do, just you have to keep your legs straight towards the ceiling, and you can keep your hands, palms relaxed, facing towards your palms facing towards your ceiling. This is the best asana to relieve you from fatigue, anxiety, stress, depression. You will feel the blood circulation going towards your upper body, towards your brain. This will relax your brain as well. It can also remove your headache. And if you are sitting on the laptop or you're doing your office work, you're sitting for a long time or standing for a long time, just do this asana. It will really help you to calm your mind. You can feel the sense of calmness. And I am feeling very relaxed now. Okay. You can stay here for 5 breaths or 10 breaths, and then you can come back to your final position. People who are suffering from hypertension, hernia should avoid doing this. As if you have injury in your lower back or spine, should avoid doing this asana. The next asana which we are going to do is called Sarvangasana, which is also called the shoulder stand. Sarvangasana is little bit advanced level, so for the beginners out there, you will have to do Sarvangasana taking the help of the wall, because in this Sarvangasana you need a lot of balance. There will be a lot of pressure on our shoulders. So first we are going to practice against the wall. Only then you will, after you are perfect doing it, if you feel that you are doing it properly, only then you have to try the actual and final posture. Okay, first we are going to do against the wall. So in Sarvangasana, what we have to keep our leg up facing towards the ceiling, and you have to lie down on your back. You have to keep your hips closer to the wall. Yes, like this. And you have to slowly, using your hands, you have to lift your hips like this. Then slowly you have to lift your left leg straight towards the wall, and then your right leg straight towards the wall. This is the final posture called Sarvangasana. You have to make use of your hands to keep your body straight. Okay, then slowly you can come back. You can stay there for 5 breaths, and then you can slowly come back with the help of your wall. Okay, what happens in Sarvangasana is, when your heart is above your head, then more blood and more oxygen are flowing towards your brain. That makes you feel more energetic and alert. It helps you to reduce your drowsiness, it helps to reduce your fatigue. And people who are suffering from like high or low blood pressure, migraine, insomnia, or your lower back pain, or if you have any knee injury or spine injury, neck injury, you should avoid doing this asana. Okay, next asana which we are going to do is called Prasarita Padottanasana. In Prasarita Padottanasana, first you have to stand straight. Your hands should be on the base, your spine should be straight, your neck should be straight, it should be straight. Then now you have to keep your legs apart, your legs at least till 4.5 feet distance, you have to keep it apart. As per your height, you have to keep your legs apart, because we are going to lean forward, drop ourselves forward towards the ground, and our head will be touching the ground. So you have to adjust your distance as per your height. And as per my height, I need this distance. Okay, and your foundation should be proper. It should be firm. Your both legs should be down properly on the ground. And now you can keep your hands on your waist, and both the toes should be parallel to each other. Now you have to keep your hands on the waist. Now slowly you have to bend down, making use of your hip joint. Okay, you have to bend down from your hip joint. And then you have to go down, and you can use your hand and keep your hands on the ground like this to get a good support, so that you don't pressurize your ankle. And slowly on the ground, and then you have to lean more forward, and your head should go completely on the ground like this. This is a very good immersion pose. As you can see, your heart and head is below your hips, so the blood circulation is going towards your brain. There is more oxygen and blood flow in your brain. Now you have to slowly come up. See, while coming up, you have to be very careful, because this asana, you have to see to it that you don't get any injuries. So while coming up, you should use your hand. Okay, you can keep your legs closer first, then you can come up slowly like this. The next asana which we are going to do is called Natarajasana, which is also called a dance pose. This asana is generally considered to be a like advanced level pose. So I recommend that those who have any injury in anywhere in the entire body, you should avoid doing these asanas. And for the beginners who are there, I will be telling you that till what extent you can go where you are comfortable with that asana. So the beginners can also do this asana, but you have to just listen to my instructions properly before doing this. Okay, so we are going to start with the Natarajasana. You have to stand straight. In the middle of the mat, you can stand straight, keep your palms at the side, spine straight, your neck should be straight. And then you have to slowly lift your right leg up and grab your right leg with your right hand and transferring your weight to your left leg. Okay, you have to slowly lift your right leg up and your entire body weight is transferred to your left leg. Now you can hold your leg either from the outside or either from the inside. Okay, and first for the beginners, you can take help of the wall, okay, while doing this, because we need a lot of balance here. Okay, we don't need any injury, so we can use wall either anywhere, this at your side or at your front while doing this asana. And for the beginners who are there, they can lean little bit. If you are leaning down, that's okay, but just see to it that your hands are engaged at this point of time. It should be straight. You have to look at the front, concentrate at one point. This is good for the beginners. But if you want to make it more intense, you have to like lean more forward. Your chest, you have to keep your chest also parallel to the ground, and your thighs should be also parallel to the ground. Okay, this is how we can do it to make it more intense, like this. Your thighs is parallel, your chest should be also parallel. And also remember, you don't have to be like, your thigh when you're lifting it up, it should not come in the front like this. If it is coming in the front while doing, you will lose your balance. Okay, so what happens in Natarajasana is that we are completely concentrating on our balance, and we are concentrating at one point. So at that point of time, we are not thinking about anything else. So that's why we can control our stress at this point of time. And it is very good to calm your mind, and it is also very good it's very good for your concentration as well. Okay, so among all the 5 asanas which I have shown you today, Viparit Karni was obviously the best asana, the much easier asana. Anybody can do this asana, and also you can select any other asanas also among these 5 asanas, and you can do it regularly. And overall, thank you everyone. Thank you for watching this video. I will be coming up with many more videos which will keep you healthy, fit, fine, and happy.